inspiring interviews with today's top landlords.
Right now, I'm stuck at about 25% of people not having paid. For me, that's about, it's well north of 10 grand. And it's such that I actually can't cover all the mortgage obligations right now.
Wow, that's horrible. So you just have to kind of dip into your rainy day fund and keep the mortgages going. Are you stressing out? Like, I can't imagine what this must feel like. Is it really tough going through this right now?
Yes, I think it is. And I'll watch a TV broadcast and my anxiety level will spike. And then what I have to remember is there's people like Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, and following the dot-com crash way long ago, people said for years that Amazon would never turn a profit. And I think for us as long-term real estate investors and landlords who want this to be the seed of our retirement and future abundance, we have to remember this is just a cycle and we'll get through it. We need to stay strong and remember that there are better times to come.
That's Fleming Schutrum. He's been with us twice before. He talked about how he retired off his rental income at age 41.
So wait, that was the dude who was saying everything prior. He was this poor, sullen man, shell of a man who retired at 41.
Yeah. So, like, and it's just, that must be horrible.
Yeah.
Like, the host is, that must be horrible. I can't imagine what you're going through.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And
it's obvious that you can extend the same logic, the same empathy, just extend it a little bit further, and it would make even more sense to apply that to the renter as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And last week we talked about Viktor Frankl and suffering, and one of the things I didn't get to that Viktor Frankl talks about as somebody who survived the Nazi death camps and the Holocaust is that he uses a gas metaphor to talk about suffering, which is that human suffering is like a gas and it fills the space. So like in this case, the suffering of these landlords in this situation is like, it has to do with the future that they've imagined for themselves. So they've projected themselves out into the future, and I don't know where they have themselves, if it's on living on their own island or hanging out with Jeff Bezos or whatever they have in the future. And then that's what's under threat right now. So it's not, whereas like for the renter, it's like an immediate physical challenge of like, where am I going to live? How am I going to get food? Whatever it might be. Their suffering has to do with this future thing that is now in jeopardy and maybe might not happen.
Powerfully put. I think that's right. And I think obviously that podcast is geared towards that. It's a group hug kind of thing. It's for those groups. I know there's probably another podcast out there about the price of boat maintenance and how that's difficult at this point,
Totally.
And they have that space and maybe they're entitled to that space. However, I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious to listen to